What's up, everybody? Steven Lefkoff here, Lefkoff Law. I wanted to provide a quick legislative update on what the folks in Washington are doing as far as economics are concerned with the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, especially as it relates to companies in the motor vehicle space. That's a lot of my clients: car dealers, finance, repair, and repo. Maxine Waters, a member of the House of Representatives, a Democrat member of the House of Representatives, just put forth her proposal. And while it's not law and may never actually become the law, I thought it was important to point out a couple points in her proposal because they are likely to become eventually part of at least the emergency bill that is eventually passed, or some form of these proposals will become part of the law. So it's just something to sort of brace yourself for, because they're frankly not very good for a lot of my clients. Number one, to suspend all consumer and small business credit payments. This would include car notes. So one of her proposals is that at least while the pandemic is going on, and I don't know how you classify until when, or when does the pandemic end, but I'm sure the government will figure out a way to do that. But at least while it's going on, there will not be any requirement that any consumer make a car loan payment. Number two, suspend all negative consumer credit reporting during the pandemic and for 120 days after. Again, I don't know when the pandemic technically would end, but any finance company, buy here, pay here dealer, or anyone in the business of making or that sometimes makes negative credit reporting on a consumer's credit would be prohibited from doing so. Next, prohibit debt collection, repossession, and garnishment of wages during the pandemic and for 120 days after. So you would not be able to garnish any wages, repossess vehicles, or even participate in any debt collection at all during the pandemic or for 120 days after. And then she makes another point to hit on in her proposal, and it's ban all evictions, foreclosures, and repossessions, including manufactured homes, RVs, and cars nationwide. In that case, it wouldn't matter where you are or what kind of business you do. You would not be able to order a repossession anywhere in the country. So that obviously would affect not only the buy here, pay here dealers and finance companies, anyone that has a loan that goes into default, but would also obviously greatly affect repossession companies because they wouldn't be able to repo any cars. So there are, and I'll put a link to her proposal. There are some, I don't know, probably like 30 points that she hits on in hers. Again, it's not the law yet, so it's not something we necessarily have to, well, it's not something we have to follow yet, but it is likely to, if not ever become the law, at least form the basis for some provisions in whatever bill is eventually passed. Make no mistake, there will be a bill passed, and it will provide economic relief for consumers, mostly at the expense of the financiers and the businesses that provide those loans, if loans don't have to be repaid and repos are prohibited. So just keep that in mind, brace yourself for it, because something is coming. And I will provide another video update as soon as a bill is passed with the details of that bill, my opinion on it, and what it means for companies in the motor vehicle and loan space. Until then, just hang tight. I'm Steven Lefkoff with Lefkoff Law, a Georgia attorney that represents many companies, at least in Georgia and around the country, with their Georgia legal matters. Those are businesses in the motor vehicle space, and I'm here if you have any questions. Please don't hesitate to reach out. www.lefkofflaw.com.